Today, Dr. Umar Johnson had his hearing in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the one that they was bringing up accusations that he was practicing psychology without a license. And his defense was, I never did that. I am a certified school psychologist. So we presented the live stream speaking about that, and we said that whatever the outcome would be, we will report on it. Well, let's go ahead and roll that clip.
This is Dr. Umar Johnson. We are live, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, capital city of Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, for Dr. Umar Johnson versus the state of Pennsylvania. The case today was about a charge against me, accusing me of holding myself out as and practicing as a licensed psychologist without a license. The evidence that they showed, and I could not believe it, everybody here saw it. The evidence that they showed were 2 clips from my second and third Breakfast Club interview and a screenshot from our 2014 website. Let me say this again. This is the evidence. 2 clips from my Breakfast Club interview 2 and 3 and a screenshot from our 2014 website. They show no evidence of me having conducted a single evaluation, a single therapy session. They can't find any evidence of me having ever performed any work as a clinical psychologist except under the supervision of a clinical psychologist. The case was bogus. It was nonsense. The closing argument was that I do therapy with adults. Everyone who knows me knows I specialize in what? Children. And all my work is school-based.
And you never said you was licensed.
And I never said I was licensed. This is being done, and by the way, I asked to know who made the initial complaint against me. They said that it's confidential. It's confidential, and I have a right to know what it is or what it was. That is nonsense. I have a right to face my accuser. That is nonsense. And unfortunately, brothers and sisters, I don't think it was one complaint. I know it wasn't. Because every time investigators contacted me, they said they received yet another one. And I believe coons as well as Caucasians. What I like about this is the decision gets made by the state board who are not even present. The hearing officer is only the mediator. So she doesn't make the decision. She makes a recommendation. She don't make the decision. She makes a recommendation to the State Board of Psychology, who you know can't stand my guts. So I'm saying all that to say, no matter what the outcome, we still gonna fight. Yes, sir. We got a school to build. Yes, sir. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, 8/21/19. Black people will have the last laugh.
Now, you heard Dr. Umar Johnson speak about the accusations and the evidence against him. And I saw the 30-minute video that someone streamed, and they're lucky they didn't get caught with that one, because you can't be streaming or recording anything in a court unless they allow you to. But the evidence they had against him was real horrible evidence they had against him. That was a waste of his time. It was a waste of everybody's time. They brought 2 interviews from the Breakfast Club up in there. They brought up a interview with someone off of a radio station, and they said, well, see, you said you're a psychologist here. But then one of the clips that they played, he said that I'm a certified school psychologist. So I'm like, so he's saying what he was without actually practicing with a license. Then they came up and then they say, well, you are counseling people, you counseling adults. They didn't show that, hey, you know, we set something up to prove that because when you go to court, you have to prove your case. And they didn't prove anything when you brought it up there. I thought when they brought this up, they had him dead to rights. Had to. I say, oh, well, they must have had somebody, you know, set it up where they could schedule something with him and then it'd be out of scope. No, they didn't have any of that. And the hearing came out that he's been contacted way back in 2014. So you think about how they bring him to the hearing today. Yes, he has made a lot of waves. in the area of people don't like his opinion about LGBT, interracial dating, and a few other positions that he has on that. But they shouldn't have even did that from what I saw. Now, some people were saying that, yeah, he had a victory. Well, if you actually listen to what he said, and that's why I wanted to make sure I wanted to put out there exactly what he said. They're going to make their decision. The lady that they had a hearing in front of today, she just gives her recommendation. So he is saying, and what he believes is the state don't like him anyway, so he don't think they may rule in his favor. But the issue with Umar was never the license or had being certified. That's not really what people are speaking about with him. A few people went that route, but I thought that route was even stupid, and I never even went that route until they brought this up in some sort of hearing fashion. But they didn't really have nothing on him, in my opinion, once they brought out their evidence. What I know about court cases, usually opposing counsel is usually more thorough than that. So that was a completely incompetent counsel. It really was. And Umar was putting that guy against the ropes from what I saw. And when he called out about why you charged me $2,500 for 3 videos, those are a legitimate point as well. But the issue still remains for a lot of people. That's his personal issue. Nobody cares about that. What the people who have a stake in the game, which I don't, who have donated to the school, they want to know what's going on with the school, what's going on with the funds. You know, Umar is trying to, you know, do some Donald Trumping in a way, deflecting with this just a little bit, but the school is the issue with a lot of people. I want to see him put on the school because schools are good things. There are many people that came along the live stream and say, oh, you're jealous of him. No, there's no jealousy at all. We must report the news for what it is. And just as much as we reported that, we report the outcome. It's just that simple. And that's why I won't tolerate people that name call. Bring your factual evidence on certain things that I do, then we can discuss that at that time period. But there will be people in the future that may do things that are wrong in our community, and we will speak on it. If it turns out great, we'll speak on that. If it turns out bad, we'll speak on that as well. That's what we're supposed to do. As I stated before, what do you want, the local news, or do you want Fox News or any of them to talk about these issues? I mean, you have to make a decision. And it's kind of like some people got that preacher syndrome a little bit too. Don't talk about my pastor, no matter what the pastor do. Don't talk about it. You know, and I get that. You get an affinity for certain people, but at the end of the day, we should always lean toward whatever the truth may be and whatever it comes out, right or wrong. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell to find out we post new stories or live streams.